Hello, this is the Tepid Coder. In this video, I want to go over standard string erase and the ways you can call it. You can delete a single element, or you can delete a range of elements based on an offset and the number of elements you want to delete. You can also erase a range of elements based on two iterators. So if you have like a standard string iterator, you can use two of those. So I'm going to show how to do that. Now I have a file that I'm going to be loading in. It's called test.txt. And inside of here, we have a line you want to keep. We have like double forward slash like you'd see in C or C++ or in Java or JavaScript or many languages. I'm going to delete everything up to and including the end of the line, so the line break, right? And then this one right here has a mixture of both text I want to keep and text I don't want to keep. I'll be deleting. So let's actually write that out. I'm going to try and kind of speed through the file loading and parts I've shown before in the past. So include iostream, include fstream, and include standard string, and that's probably all I'm going to need for now. So let's see, function entry point. Okay, I want to have a function that loads a file into a string. Load file, let's call it. Okay. Now what I'm going to do inside of here is take a const char pointer to some file path, cstring. Then I'm going to do, let me think about this for a second. I'm going to do this with fstream. I don't use this very often, so it takes me a second sometimes to remember how to use this. So first of all, I want to have string file contents. I'm going to define the standard fstream, fs I'll call it. I'm going to construct it with the file path. Oops, file path I called it. And then from standard io base, is it? iOS base in. So I'm reading it as an input. Okay, then I'm going to do if not. So if you failed to, fs dot is open, failed to open it. Then I'm just going to return an empty string. So return standard file contents. Okay, otherwise we're going to return a string that we loaded, file contents. Okay, I'm going to say stir file contents dot resize. I need it to be the size of the file. Let's say st file size. I'm going to fill it with zeros. I don't know the file size yet though, so what I need to do is say fs.seek g for get, p for put. So g equals get. So reading from, p equals put, writing to. So if you see seek g, then like you're affecting the read stream. And if I did fs seek p, I'd be seeking the position in the output stream where in the file I want to dump it, or where in the stream, whatever it's going to be. I want to dump the characters. Okay, so we're going to seek to offset 0 from standard iOS base. It's going to be end. So seek backwards 0 bytes from the end. And then I'm going to say size t, file size equals, it's going to be fs.tell g. So remember get and put. So the current position, the current offset in the input stream. So now I have that, and I can actually resize the string to be large enough to hold the whole file. And note that I don't need a +1 here to hold a null terminator. Standard string doesn't require that, so I'm not doing that. So fs seek g, so I'm changing the input stream position to 0 from standard iOS base beg from beginning. So I'm going back to the beginning of the file so I can read from there. So we're going to do fs.read, and what I'm going to read is however many bytes the file has, standard files, not standard, but st file size precisely, and I'm reading it into my stir file contents.data. Now, before C++11, you shouldn't do this because your standard string elements are not guaranteed to be contiguous. So C++11 plus, this will work. I wouldn't try this before C++11. Okay, so at this point, I've read the file in. I return the contents. Okay, that looks good to me. So I'm going to say standard string stir file contents equals load file. And I called it test.txt. Now let's actually print out what we loaded just to see if it worked. So I'm going to say file contents \n. Okay, stir file contents. And standard inline this time. Why not? Let's try and build that. So g++ test.cp out test. Okay, so on line 17 you made a mistake. Let's do that. Line 8. Hello. Line 17. So what was the mistake I made here? Stir file content just... Okay, resize. Oh, right here I forgot a semicolon. Okay, no big deal. So let's try that again. Okay, there's the file we loaded, so that is working so far. Now what I want to do is actually want to parse through it, and I want to say that all of the comments need to be deleted. So what I can do here is I can say, while we find things to delete, let's say comment offset 0, while we're able to find a comment offset, then continue erasing things. So let me think for a second here. I'm going to say while standard string in pos not equal to, so string find, so standard string find returns string in pos if it couldn't find what you're looking for. So while we did find it, it didn't equal that. So stir file contents.find. Okay, and what I need to do is actually assign this value each time. So this equals that. So while the result of this, which is stored in here, does not equal something invalid, so while we're able to store the offset of the next comment in this variable, keep looping. That's basically what that's saying. And what I'm searching for is going to be // and where I'm starting from, at first is 0, but after that I need to start from wherever I found it plus 1. So what we can do is use a ternary operator here. We can say, if this is true, if it has a value it's not 0, then we're going to use that plus 1. Colon means otherwise, use that value. So if it's 0, it's not true, we're going to use this, put a 0. But if it's non-zero, we're going to do whatever it was plus 1. So where we found it last time, search starting from that position plus 1. The reason for that is, let's say we have, like, the token is going to be semicolon, right? So A semicolon, B semicolon. What's going to happen is, if I just say the comment offset every time, if I find the comment right here, it's going to start from this position and it's going to already find it because it is that character. We're already starting where the character is. So we need to do that plus 1. But if the first character is a 0, I mean, we can't just always start at 0 plus 1, right? Sorry. So if we start with a semicolon, right, we can't always just start with 0 plus 1, right? Because we're going to be skipping that first semicolon we need to delete. So that's what's happening there. A lot happening in that. I could have made it like a while true and kind of broken it into multiple lines and conditions, but I thought I'd show off that ternary syntax and stuff, and I thought I'd show off the chaining, so hopefully everyone followed along with that. So first of all, let's actually just confirm that we're getting a valid offset, okay? So comment found at offset, whatever it's going to be. I'm going to say st comment offset. We're going to end the line. So let's make sure that works so far. Okay. And it finds it at 39 and 134. So it is finding comment offsets. So let's try and actually delete those now. There's some dumb ways we can do it, and there's some good ways we can do it. I'm going to show the dumb way first. So let's say we have something like test \n we want to delete, right? And we're going to say, each time we're going to delete one character. So let's say we delete this t. We're going to have est \n, we're going to have st \n. You can imagine every time we delete something, the whole string is going to shift this way towards us. So we have t \n, and finally we're going to have \n. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to say, while stir file contents at the position comment offset. Did I do 2 M's there? Yeah, I did. Is equal to, sorry, not equal to a line break. Okay, so it's not equal to line break, and stir file contents st comment offset is also not equal to this kind of line break. So if we haven't found either of those, we're going to keep going forward by deleting the element we're currently on. So now how we delete the element is file contents erase. We're going to erase based on an iterator. The way we get that is we do stir file contents again. That's going to be the iterator that relates to the first character. I could say plus size t comment offset. So it's going to relate to this current character right here, where we found this comment. In this case, it's, you know, the double / is how we find the comment. So it's going to be that first /. And then we're going to delete that first /, then the second /, and so on and so forth until we reach some kind of line break token. But I also want to get rid of the line break itself. So here's something to do. While we're able to find comments to remove. Over here, while we're deleting characters leading up to the line break. Character first. Say the first. Not the fifth, the first. Come on. Now I'm actually going to just copy and paste that. I'm going to say, in this case, while we're deleting characters, let's see, we're deleting line break characters. So in this case, while it's equal to this, or it's equal to that. So while we're still on a line break, essentially. So imagine we have like backslash and backslash r, like we're on Mac or something. It usually does that. In that case, what we'd have is we're starting here, okay, and then we're going to delete it and we'll end up here. And then we'll run something else that's not that, and we'll stop. It could also be, you know, backslash r, backslash n, like on Windows, or it could just be backslash n, like a Unix line break. Okay, so let's give that a try, and we're going to print out the file contents once that's done, so we'll see if it worked. Yeah, clear. And you can see it worked. We deleted the second line we didn't want to keep, and we deleted the second half of the mixture there of stuff we want to keep and stuff we don't want to keep. And deleting them one at a time is kind of dumb, so I'm going to show a better way to do it based on a range. So let's make that happen. What we can do is we can say we have size t. Let's say line end. This will be our end of our range. We're going to say we have start file contents dot find. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to say find from SD comment offset, where we're starting. So we already found the slash right here. So we're searching from that. We'd actually search from that +2 even, because we know that the first two, right? 0 is going to be a forward slash, right? And 1's also going to be a forward slash. So then 2 is the first thing past it that might be something else. Anyway, we're going to search for some character. Let's say backslash n from there. Now, again, we could have backslash r, we could have backslash n after it, like Mac does. Again, we could have backslash n, backslash r, or we could have just backslash n. So I can't rely on this being the final line break token. So I'm going to say is if, let's see, st line end doesn't equals standard string in pos, then we did find a token. Okay, but it's possible that we didn't find it, which would mean that we're at the end of the string already. Or this is the last line of the string, there's no line break following it. So at that point, we just need to delete everything from the current position where we found the comment up till the end of the buffer. So let's say stir file contents dot erase. And the cool thing we can do here is we can just say st comment offset. And that'll delete everything from the current position up until the end of the string buffer. If you do it by offset like that. So that's kind of neat. Okay, and what we're going to do in this case is we're going to say while we're on some kind of line break token. So stir file contents st, what do I call it, line end. So while that equals either a backslash r line break or it equals a backslash n line break, we're going to keep looking ahead. So st line end plus plus. Okay. So now we're going to have the offset of the first character after all the line break tokens. We're going to erase everything up to and including the last line break token. So stir file contents dot erase. First way I'll show is we can do something similar to this. We can use the offset and we can use the number of characters to delete. Well, number of characters to delete. Let's say we want to delete test, right? Let's say this is the 0th offset 1, 2, 3, right? If we delete the end position minus the first position, it'd be 3 minus 0. 3 minus 0 equals 3. But if I only deleted 3 characters, I still have that t right there. So what I really need is n minus start plus 1, right? So it's u minus s plus 1, let's say. However, I'm not sitting on the last line break token. I'm sitting on the first character after the last line break token of that line. Okay. And obviously, if there's more than one line in the row, there's going to be multiple lines deleted after that comment. But let's not worry about that. Okay, anyway, number of characters to delete then should be st line end minus st comment offset plus 1, but since we already are searching past that last character, it's already going to include the last line break character found. So let's give that a try real quick. Let's clear it. We're going to say pilot. Okay, run it. You can see it still works. Now this is probably the best way you can do a range inside of a string. Another way you can do it though is with 2 iterators instead of that. That'll work basically exactly the same. So I'm going to say stir file contents dot erase. We're going to do stir file contents dot begin. In this case, it's going to be plus st comment offset, and this one's going to be st line end. Now keep in mind that the range here is s comma e, not inclusive. But again, since we're already pointing to the first character after the line break ends, it's not going to matter. You know, we're going to have an inclusive delete that includes that line break. So let's give that a try, see if it works. And it does. Okay, and so for centered vector, we'd be doing the exact same thing as this one for range. We'd say standard vector some type, you know, erase. We can say that vector, whatever it is, centered vector begin plus, you know, start offset comma standard vector some type begin plus some end offset. Let's say we have a vector called vec, right? So standard vector some type. Let's call it char even. Okay, I'll call it vec. In this case, it would be vec.erase vec.begin plus, in this case, st comment offset and vec.begin plus st line end. So that would work exactly the same. So you can also do the same thing with vectors for a single element. I'll show that up here. For this, it would be, imagine we have the same vector called vec. It would be vec.erase, and it would be vec.begin, okay, plus st comment offset. All right. I think that's going to about do it for this one. If anyone has any comments, suggestions, questions, please post those. If you found the video useful, give it a thumbs up. Maybe consider subscribing for more content. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. I hope you guys have a great day.